Okay.
So we're live on YouTube, guys.
Okay. All righty.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put up the screen. So that way on YouTube will.
Okay, Kim, it's 10 o'clock. You can start letting the people in.
Good morning, everyone.
Hey!
Good morning,
Good
everybody.
morning.
Good
Oh,
morning.
Giovanna! Hey, Giovanna!
Hey, y'all. How y'all doing?
Good.
We are very good. How are you?
No complaints at all on this beautiful day.
I tell you
Good
that.
morning.
Hey, Kristen,
Good
baby
morning,
pudding, how are
Kristen.
you?
I'm good. Thank you
Good.
for the ride yesterday.
No problem, my darling. No problem. So, Kim,
You knocked the dawn. Yes, ma'am.
is this screen gonna stay on while I'm speaking about the National Provider Network, or
If you
just
would like it
until I
to.
start?
If you would like it to, you let me know. I can take it down.
Okay, so you know what? Actually, you can leave it on while I'm doing the introduction, and then
When everybody introduces themselves, take it down.
yeah, when I'm finished, with the introduction, I'll say, Kim, okay, you can take the screen down, and then I'll start with the introductions. And if people want to view themselves, they have themselves viewed, they can.
Okay.
All right. Okay, cool beans. Then you know what? I can I don't have to have my sheets right next to the screen. I could just have it down. Okay, cool beans on that. What? We got 20 participants already
Yes, ma'am.
at 10:01. Who was
At
doing her
10:01.
job? That's because Rafia, I've been telling people about you, girl.
Oh, wow. I feel so honored. This is such a great avenue. I thank you so much.
Don't
Truly,
worry about
yeah.
it. We got you. And then
Yeah.
let me just say this, because we only for an hour, and I do have some work that has to be done in my unit.
Right.
So I got to jut out at like no later than 11:15. But the information about your documentary, the information about the walk, all of that information, you can highlight it a little bit, but absolutely put it in the chat box so they can have all of that information.
Mhm.
Yes,
And then what
ma'am,
I'm
will
gonna
do.
say is, if they don't get it, then they can email me and I'll send it to them.
Correct. And I'll also be able to send the slides if
Yeah,
anyone's interested.
yeah,
That
yeah,
way they can
yeah.
have that to go
Okay, cool
with.
beans on that.
Okay. And we can post the slides on our website. We have a section for downloads for when people share their slides. So that way people can go and download them.
Okay.
Right. Because we want to get your information out there. Okay, Kim, 2 more minutes and then I'm gonna start with my introduction, baby.
Okay. And then if I can find any producers, we need some introductory music that won't get flagged by YouTube.
I know, I know, I know. So Maureen, do you know anybody?
I'll possibly I'll find out. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool beans on that. I'm just looking at myself on the screen. I'm gonna just tell y'all, this is exactly how my mother looked. You're looking at my mother, Catherine Logan. Yes, you are. Okay, stop. I'll stop. Oh, Lordy, Lordy, Lordy.
Okay.
Oh, Kim.
Yes.
I see that in the chat box. Okay, so check this out. So when I give the introduction, is the screen gonna still be up there? And then my picture, my video, is the picture of me gonna be up there? I mean, the video of me talking is gonna be up there?
Yes.
Okay, cool beans on that. Well, then I'll have to like hold this up here. Yeah, okay. All right, Kim, can we like kick it off?
Yes, ma'am. The
All
floor
right,
is
so
yours.
okay, okay. Good morning, everyone. I see we have a couple of participants already participating in the meeting. So I am going to start out, and once again, good morning. I just want to say welcome. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and how appropriate today is Mental Health Action Day. I am Suzette Logan, and I want to say thank you for joining our Zoom party. Once again, I am Lion Suzette Logan, and this is the National Provider Network, sponsored by Family to Family, the Illinois chapter of the Federation for Children's Mental Health. At the National Provider Network, we strive to bridge the gap between people and resources, bringing together organizations, schools, and agencies to support the community, local and national. We are a professional network aimed at breaking down and erasing barriers to education, health, physical and mental, and supporting economic stability for youth and their families. Locally, the National Provider Network represents youth and their families in the townships of Bloom, Brennan, Rich, and Thornton. And each month, the National Provider Network works towards the goal of increasing access to educational and mental health by supporting and highlighting innovative services, programs, presenters who address mental health well-being, social and emotional learning, educational services, along with economic and community development. So, Kim, you can take the screen off. Everyone sit back enjoy yourself, get your coffee, get your tea, get comfortable, and I will start calling on people to introduce themselves. And I just want to say that we only have an hour today, so we have a dynamic speaker who's going to speak to us. But first, I will want to have people introduce themselves, and then I will introduce the speaker and tell you a little bit about her. So we're going to start off with Maureen Hall, my girl.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Suzette, for that lovely introduction. As Suzette stated, my name is Maureen Hall. I am the owner of Premier Treatment and Counseling Services. I'm located in Flossmoor, Illinois. Premier Treatment offers substance use counseling for adolescents beginning at the age of 13 and adults. I'm also a DUI service provider and also certified in anger management. So if you know anyone or who needs any assistance with substance use for their youth or for themselves or any family members, you could reach out to a Premier.
All righty. Next up, we're going to have Felicia Wilborn. Hey, girl.
Good morning, everyone.
All right. Ooh, I love the background. Ooh, I love that.
Yes, I went to Jamaica last November for the first time, and I'm attempting to stay there. So
Okay.
came up with this one. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Felicia Wilborn. I work on the implementation team for the Family First Project, and I'm just coming to learn more and meet more people in our Cook area, which is where I concentrate my work. Thanks so much.
Okay, well, welcome, darling. Next up, we have Marie Johnson Reynolds.
Hello, everybody. My name is Marie Johnson Reynolds. I am with Reestablishing Hope. It's a licensed behavioral health clinic. We do some of everything: case management, anger management, advocacy, veteran service, youth service. We all over the place, literally. And thank you for having me.
Okay, well, we're glad that you at this place.
Thank you. And
All
we
right.
always open to the opportunity for partnership and within the community. So I want to put that out there too.
Okay, cool. You know what? And I should have, I'm sorry, I should have said this, but anyone can put their information in the chat box. So, you can put your information in the chat box. All right. Next up, we'll have Kristen Hadley. Kristen?
Hi, my name is Kristen Hadley. I'm the founder and CEO of Element CP and ADHD Networking Group for people with disability. I'm also a compliance member, and I also work at Family to Family for children for mental health. I'm over the disability advocacy department at Family to Family.
Okay, well, welcome, Kristen. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you. I'm glad you could be here today. Next up, okay, thank you. Next up, we have Judson Strickland, if I'm saying that right. Oh, Jatan, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Jatan. Okay. How are you? And welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you. My name is Jatan Strickland. I am the clinical director for Cook County Southland Juvenile Justice Council. The council strives to care for our youth, not only our youth, but their families. We offer services like individual and group counseling. We have several girls clubs. We also sort of just, we provide professional development for private and for school-based organizations. So we do a lot. We're out here in these streets for our kids.
Okay. Thank you. We appreciate what you do, and I am so glad that you could join us again. And you keep coming. I'm going to get that name right off the bat. All right, next up we have Chris. Chris? Okay, I'll try to, Siddharuk.
Are you there? Hi.
Okay, well, Geraldine, I tried to pull up Chris, but welcome, Geraldine. Introduce yourself.
We're together. Chris and Geraldine.
Oh, okay. Hey.
We're SEL coaches, social emotional learning coaches for District 204 out in Aurora, Illinois. And we have another one of our colleagues also. Where is she? Dina Esposito. So
Hey, Dina. Hey, welcome. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
No problem. No problem. Okay, so we already got you, and we got Chris, and we got Geraldine. So we're moving on. Okay, next up we'll have Giovanna Smith.
Good morning, everybody. Giovanna Smith, DCFS Resource and Recruitment. And you all, we are looking for foster parents and for Black and Brown children. Thank you. It's always a pleasure attending these meetings.
Thank you for coming, my darling. Next up, we have Monica Whitaker.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Monica Whitaker. I work with DCFS in the Resource and Recruitment Department, and I work alongside with Giovanna Smith. And yes, we're in need of 400 foster parent homes. And thank you for the invite.
You're welcome. And if you're with Giovanna, you're in good company. Next up, we have Regina.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Regina Kreider. I am with Chapin Hall. I'm a senior policy analyst, and I work on the transformation for Blueprint with Dr. Dana Weiner, as we work on transforming the behavioral health system for children in the state. Thank you for having me.
Hey, Regina, how are you? How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
You're welcome. Next up, we will have Sharonda Hatcher. Sharonda?
Good morning. Just had to take myself off mute. How are you?
I'm good. Hey.
Good. Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. So I am Sharonda Hatcher, the Assistant Executive Director over at the Cook County Sheriff's Office, the Community Resource Program, Community Resource Center. So what we do here is we provide services to individuals in custody when they're getting out. So if they need resources within the community when they're getting out, also we provide resources to anyone in the Cook County. So we provide case management and leakage services to anyone in Cook County. So even if they have never been within the jail system or prison system, we still help with services. So feel free to reach out if you know of people who require services. And thanks again for having me.
Well, welcome. And I know you have information about an upcoming event. Please feel free to put that information into the chat box.
Okay.
And thank you for being here.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, we have Erin. Am I saying this right? Erin.
Erin, you had it right the first time.
Okay, Erin. All right, girl. Look at you.
Good morning, y'all. It's nice to meet everyone. My name is Erin Nicholson, and I'm a clinical therapist with Northwestern University Settlement House. We're a nonprofit organization, and we provide a lot of services. We do early childhood education. We have a food pantry, family support. We have 2 charter schools under us as well. And then we offer, of course, school-based and community-based mental health services. So I do individual therapy in schools. I do some groups at Wells Community High School. And then I'm also the clinical director for Camp Mariposa at our House in the Wood. I don't know if you all are familiar with House in the Wood, but that's under us too. But thank you. Nice to meet everyone.
Nice to meet you too. And you could tell us a little bit more later on about House in the Wood. Okay.
Absolutely. I would love to.
Okay. Or you could put that information in the chat
Yeah,
box.
I'll put a link in the chat.
Right. And then you know what? Maybe I will contact you much later and you can do a presentation on House in the Wood.
Oh, I would love to. I will send you privately my information so we can get connected.
Okay, cool beans on that. Thank you. Next up, we have Enoch the Don. Don.
Greetings to everyone. I am a co-founder
of an organization, not-for-profit, called Hip Hop Detox. We're based in Chicago. We are a trauma-informed organization that focuses on holistic human development, so social, emotional, and restorative practice is part of what we do. We use music and pop culture along with the 7 principles of engaging youth that are at risk, that was promoted by Dr. Carl Bell, who we partnered with in 2009. We utilize that in doing our services, whether it's in school or after school programming or parent trainings and professional development. And so we've been working in the Chicagoland area and outside of Chicago since 2002.
Don, welcome. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
I have been talking to Don, and we will be seeing him later on in the year. We're going to try to get him to do a presentation.
Look forward to it.
All right. Next up, we have my friend Kawan Taylor.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kawan Taylor, and I am with the Department of Children and Family Services, one of the supervisors here at the Harvey site. And thank you again for the invite. So good to hear all of these wonderful resources for our families and youth. So I will be calling you all soon.
Thank you, Kawan, and thank you for coming. Next up, we have Julia. Julia. Mahar or Julia? Did you take yourself off of mute? Okay, Julia, we'll come back to you. So we're going to go with James McComb. Hey, James, how's the brother doing?
Good morning. Doing great. My name is James McCombs. I'm a SNAP-Ed educator with the University of Illinois Extension. We partner with organizations to promote healthy eating and physical activity. This is done through a team of that provides direct education, and I work with organizations on policy systems and environmental changes that make healthy choices easier. So glad to be here.
Thank you. And we're glad that you are here. And you know what? And I know that you have some information about a food program for the summertime for children. So if you want to put that information in the chat box, we would greatly welcome it. Next up, okay, thank you. Next up, Julia, are you back? I don't know what happened. Okay, because of time, we're moving on. Next up, we're going to have Geraldine Johnson, my friend. Geraldine, how are you? Geraldine? Okay, Geraldine, we're moving on. We'll be back with you. Next up, we have Lori Deal. Hey, Lori. Oh,
hello.
Okay, Geraldine. Okay.
Hello? Oh, okay. I had to take myself off mute.
Okay.
Hi, Suzette. How are you?
I am good, my darling. How are you?
I'm great. Hello, everyone. My name is Geraldine. I'm the program supervisor for the SPEED Family Enrichment Program. We are an Illinois State Board of Education funded birth to 3 home visiting program. We provide early learning activities to families of children from prenatal to the age of 3. We help to link them to the next steps in their journey, which is preschool, and we also provide some case management and service linkages. So we're located in the south suburbs. So if you know of any families that could benefit from a supportive partner in their parenting, give me a call. I'll put my information in the chat.
Thank you, Geraldine. And you know what? I was thinking about you yesterday, but I just had so much stuff to do, but I will be calling you. Okay.
Okay. I emailed you, I think.
Yeah, you did. You did. Okay. I'm going to call you. Girl, I've been crazy.
Okay.
Okay. So next up we have Lori. Okay, thank you. Next up we have Lori Deal. Lori.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yep, we got you, baby.
Hi. Good morning. My name is Lori Deal. I'm from the South Suburban Council. I am Director of Central Intake and Admissions and the Director of Stabilization and Transition Services. We are a drug treatment facility here in the East Hazel Crest Southland area with residential, inpatient, and outpatient services. We have a recovery home as well. So I'm glad to be here, and I'm looking forward to working with new faces, new people.
Well, thank you, Lori. Thank you. Next up, we have John Patterson.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is John Patterson. I'm the Family Advocacy Center Outreach Coordinator for Cook County. Family Advocacy Centers are a statewide group of providers who provide services for the community to help prevent children from coming into care, and also provide services for children already, for families already in care. You have two FACs in your area. One is Epic, and the other one is Book. And I don't think anyone from either of those agencies are here today, but that's my story.
Okay, well, we're glad to hear your story. Okay, so this 708 number, 708-647, is that you, Lori? Was that you?
Yes, that's me.
Okay,
My
okay.
Bluetooth speaker is not working. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. Cool beans. I just wanted to make sure. Next up, we have Kimberly Haynes, who is the mastermind behind all of this. Kimberly?
Good morning, everyone. I'm Kimberly Haynes. I'm the Executive Director for Family to Family Federation for Children's Mental Health. Also a member of the Knights of Prevention and Education Cyber Alliance. And I would just like to welcome everyone today. I will be kind of in the background, so I'm kind of doing the response to your chats, as well as dropping some links. We have some really great providers on here. So we'll be dropping a link for the linkage agreement to help us make sure that we're able to share the information about your services, as well as I'll be sharing the link to register if you guys would like to be presenters on the platform. So thank you so much. And I'll have a few announcements at the end. Thank you.
Okay. Now, last but not least, we have our presenter today. I'm going to introduce her, tell you a little bit about her, and then she's going to take it away. Her name is Rafia Maxie Cole, and she is a dedicated mother, advocate, and a licensed clinical social worker. She is also the founder of Soul Survivors of Chicago, an organization dedicated to suicide prevention and the promotion of mental health and wellness in the African American community. So today, she is going to do a presentation on suicide in the Black community, the Chicago story. We are so honored to have Rafia here with us. So welcome, Rafia.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And good morning, everyone. It is such a pleasure. My heart is so full after a couple of long weeks of talking and speaking and so forth, to see your beautiful faces and all the things you represent and entities you do within the community. I look forward to continuing a relationship with you. And I thank you so much for your time today. I promise it will be enlightening, it will be impactful, and definitely moving as it relates to a topic that came upon me without knowing, and that is suicide. And today's presentation, I want to make sure to honor the time. Since we have an hour, I will be going through slides, and some I might pass through just to make sure we get the content together and the questions answered. So with that being said, we're also going to be able to provide the slides at your avail if you want, and information on how to contact me more and start more conversations on this important matter. So why don't we go ahead and, like one said, cool beans, that's a cool word I like, and get started. So
well,
let me
feel
share
free to use that. It's all good.
I will. I actually have, so it's great. Let me go ahead and start sharing my screen, and I will ask
Kim,
if you can see this, because I will also have to share my sound, correct?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, great. So with that being said, I want to welcome you to Suicide in the Black Community, the Chicago Story. My name is Rafia Maxie Cole. Some people call me Rafia, some people call me by my maiden name, Maxie. But I am part of Chicago. I live and breathe it. I am from the Auburn Gresham neighborhood, and I thought it was appropriate to talk about Suicide in the Black Community, the Chicago Story, and give some insight on what we're seeing and how it has impacted my life moving forward. So welcome. I'm going to do a few things real quick. Slide control, let's see that. Okay. All righty. So, important notes to consider today. One is that we'll be talking about suicide and violence, and that'll be mentioned. I know this is a stressful subject for some, and I would like to share supports and resources. Many of us know them, so I won't, bother you with things that you know about. But of course, if there is a time that you are thinking about or know someone who is in need of emotional support, I ask and beg of you to contact the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, which is available 24/7. We know the number of 1-800-273, but 988 has been implemented. And as it continues to grow within this nation, we want to continue to advocate for it. So please, please reach out if you know someone's in crisis and needs to talk. There is the text number as well on the slide. So the outline today are the 3 R's. What I would like to do is review some segments in this discussion of suicide in the Black community of a documentary, We Cry Your Tears, the Jamal Clay story. And I'll talk about what a village is, in essence of what I've learned as a result of his suicide and the suicide of someone from our community. We'll also be receiving data regarding suicide rates in Chicago, some misconceptions and prevention information. And if time permits, talk a little bit about my experience as a social worker going through the system in itself and what I experienced. Okay. I'm going to, sorry about that. So I prepared for 35 minutes. We'll shorten it as we go. Also understanding that questions and answers will be permitted as we go along. And that's our outline really for today. So this is an intimate conversation about something that is dear to us. I think 2 things: our city, our town, and suicide. So who am I? Pretty much, I call myself to be a mother who definitely wanted to bring something to this community. So I was blessed to have 2 children, Jamal and Jada, and a proud citizen, of course, of Chicago, Illinois. That is me, and that is my son, and that is my daughter. But that big question of what and why, it always comes up to me. What am I? Am I just a mother? Am I just a licensed clinical social worker? It's a lot of things. I can start with being in social work, and this is all I know. For the last 23 years, a graduate of Southern University in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and Southern University at New Orleans, and master's. Then I came back before Katrina, started working with various community organizations, and then been long-term with the Department of Veteran Affairs in our homeless program, and then founder of Soul Survivors of Chicago, which Soul Survivors, I think, founded me. But my why, and that's an important question. What is your why? Why do you get up and why do you go and do the things you do? For me, it starts a little bit like this. And it will play right here. Give it a few more seconds to scroll, and if it does not come on, we're going to move forward because the internet does its own thing. There we go. In this video, this is Cook County President Perwinkle speaking about suicide.
Rafia, I'm not hearing anything.
Thank you for letting me know. Okay, I'm going to share my sound. Let's see. I'm so sorry. And share options. I'm just sharing. I know. Is there a way on your end, Kim, that you can allow for?
You should have all the
remote
options.
I see.
If you click the more button, yeah.
Okay, I
Click
got
the
it.
okay, you got it. Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Let's begin.
For joining me here at Cook County Health. The African American community has borne the brunt of the COVID pandemic, opioid overdose deaths, as well as a surge in homicides. And today we're here to talk about the alarming rate of suicides occurring among our Black residents. There have been more suicides thus far this year in the Black community as in all of 2019. Most notably, we're seeing an increase in suicide among young people. The youngest victim this year was only 9 years old. This is horrifying.
And yes, it is. In 2020, what our President Tony Perwinkle said is that we actually were seeing more suicides in a 6-month period than we saw in all of 1 year, with the youngest victim being of 9 years old. With that, I came to an understanding after seeing this that we have a problem. Excuse me. I'm going to minimize so I can see. Okay. And move forward. Stop sharing. I'm going to go to my next slide. Everyone, sorry about that. Okay. And I'm trying to fast forward, so 1 second, please. I'm sorry about that. In this presentation, what we saw was there was a conference that was held in regards to our community. With having so many occur in a short period of time, there was a call, an alarm for the understanding that we really need to to take note to this. I am so sorry. I'm trying to press this. Sorry. Close this, please. Sharing. This, and then I am going to move to the next slide. So my why became simple. It became an understanding that I now was entering a new life. Oh my goodness. I can't miss that. With me? Okay. I'm having little technical difficulties, guys. I apologize. I usually don't have these issues, but today is the day.
Well, you know what, Raphia?
If you
your
want
slides,
to,
if you're having an issue with the slides, this is your presentation. You know about your stuff, so you could just talk and tell us about it.
yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay. Well, to be honest with you, on May 27, 2020, I lost my son by way of suicide. His name was Jamal. He was 19 years old, and it was the worst day of my life. Jamal died after the tragic death of George Floyd, 11 months after his high school graduation, 4 months into a pandemic, and 2 months into a Black Lives Matter movement. I knew then, just by the experience, that my life is now changing. And goodness.
Raphia, you can follow the slides on your end without sharing them.
Okay. That's the problem. How can I do that? Let's see. Okay.
Just pull them up on your own computer, and then you
Yes,
don't
ma'am.
have to share them with us. I can make the slides available to everyone after the meeting.
Okay. Okay, yes, ma'am. So can you see this screen right here? The suicide in the Black community?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Let's just move forward from there. I can move forward after that. This is where I wanted to go. Okay, got it. Sorry for that. So let's keep going. My why was also important to understand, mainly because the story of my son was a story that I think that every parent shares when it comes to their child, and that is a disbelief that this could happen to them, and understanding of what certain things our children experience in their lifetime can have to do with their mental health and wellness. So with that, I immediately, as a Black person, and knowing, coming from an area where we all are stigmatized regarding suicide and definitely don't feel that, sometimes this happens to Black people, I felt compelled to tell the story through the story of the lenses of other people, which is the Jamal Clay story. And it was documented in 2001. And we took a few people who knew him and asked them to sit together and tell the story of Jamal so that we can share the understanding of someone who looks just like us and acts like us and involved in all the social, things that are happening, could want to take their life or choose to take their life. So the YouTube documentary Required Tears of Jamal Clay's Story is available on our channel, and you can definitely watch it, and the links of it is on this presentation. So in these slides, what we have are
me and Jamal knew each other since we were 5. So it's been about...
I will start again, sorry. This is not happening to me.
Everybody in the world, that was like the last person you expect to get a call about. Jamal, it's like, cause it's just not like that.
You know, I thought he was okay. I didn't think something like this would happen at all.
Nobody expected that. Nobody saw that coming.
It was a situation that happened in about 3 days that we had no control over. That's how quick it escalated, period.
I can't, and I don't know how, if I ever will, be able to wrap my mind around it. It's no making sense of it.
Why? Why?
What did I do?
And consistent across every
I'm so sorry. What is going on? Are you all still with me?
We're still with you. And you know what? You can bypass the slides because we're coming up to a quarter to the hour.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. So, I do apologize. This is not what I prepared for today, and by all means, would love to have private conversations with you all. But let's talk a little bit about suicide as it relates to our youth and what's going on and some of our understandings of what's happening. My son was the love of my life, and I believe his story is one that's common, particularly for Black males and youth, particularly in a certain age category when they're going through middle school and going through the developments of who they are, what they think, and so forth. One of the things that happened to my son was that he was bullied very badly at 12 years old. And at 12 years old, after a field trip, he came home and said, "I hate myself." And so immediately I went to school, tried to figure out what happened. And my son was here in this room trying to hang himself. That was my first experience as now taking off my social work hat, now putting on my parent hat and navigating through the mental health system. I do live in the South Suburban area and have been a resident for some time since 1987. And it was the most challenging and frightening thing ever, mainly because the system works with how funding works and how schedules work and how staff work and how locations work. So I also found myself following the trends of that. I would get nice brochures and told to wait or be on a waiting list, get an appointment only to have it canceled, get back on another waiting list, go see someone who now is going to be retired after the next session, on and on and on. So it came upon myself to really try to take it upon ourselves to kind of work with what we thought was coming on, which was his self-esteem and the realities of bullying. As we move forward 7 years later, my son thrived by being part of things such as mentoring programs. He was the president of Top Teens of America, the South Suburban chapter. He was a student at a really prestigious high school, Marian Catholic, and definitely was somebody who you can lean on too. But how could this continue to exist within him? Those feelings, I believe, of despair, of depression, of navigating how you feel in the midst of a time that was really unsure for all of us. Us as now, folks getting information about what was going on in our communities, from COVID all the way down to, protests and marches that were happening in the street, being confined now, not being able to enjoy the socializations with your family and so forth. That was really challenging. And then as I move forward and continue to be the parent that I thought was important for Jamal, I did not know a couple things when it comes to suicide. One in particular, I never got the message that if someone attempts suicide, there's a greater chance that they will attempt it again. I missed that memo. The second thing I also was not aware of was the importance of the collection of a community and how to truly and honestly continue the conversation once we address it. So after the bullying example, I took it upon myself to go to the school and actually start an anti-bullying campaign. We had balloons. I remember CBS coming out. It was a really big deal. And so you think that, oh, that chapter's over, but it really doesn't. It continues to be something you have to talk about, understand, because it just doesn't stop with one event. It's an ongoing thing, just like assessments. We have to continue to assess our children. So those are things that I've learned in part with it. As it relates to Soul Survivors of Chicago, we do three things. One thing I was compelled to do was start a Walk in Purpose project. After everybody left, when my son died, the flowers were gone, the calls had stopped, I went in his room and I said, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I saw his shoe on the floor. And I said to myself, wouldn't it be great if I could just take Jamal's shoe, clean it and sanitize it, and gift it to others with the understanding, with his name in it, that you'll walk in purpose. I will never see my son graduate from college. I will never have grandchildren. But when you put this shoe on, it is a symbol of you walking in a legacy of someone who doesn't and will not be able to do the things you do. So walk in purpose. And with that, we were able to ask many families throughout the nation to donate shoes of someone they lost from suicide and even some from trauma. And we've collected over 100 shoes that we've cleaned and sanitized and have the name in, and look for programs for those persons that are like, we call them repeat cyclers through our system, who come back over and over and over again over the same issue. Maybe this could be a protective factor for them. Maybe this could be something that they can look at and say, man, I'm honored to put this shoe on, or man, I'm going to do this, and it's not just for me. The second thing we do is we believe in doing street outreach in the community of these resource deserts. Oh my gosh. Oftentimes, the person who is mostly impacted with a suicidal ideation or a actual wanting to attempt may not be in front of the church. They may be in front of the liquor store. They may be sitting in a barber chair. They may be at the laundromat getting ready to prepare their mind for what they're thinking of. So we go to these locations and we provide lethal means safety gun locks. We provide the resources. We provide USBs instead of all papers, which we do, and they have the resources in them so that you can use it on your computer and actually just type it up as you need. Something innovative out of the box. The third thing we do is we have a support group. It's called We Are One. And what I've noticed in my experience is that I found myself really trying to find some help, and I was lost. And I'm a social worker. So for a resource person to sit and think, how am I going to get through this? Where do I find it? The only thing I had was Google, and that's terrible. What came out of that was one group I found. And in this group, I was the only African American in the whole state of Illinois that attended the chapter meetings. So that to me signified that there was not enough African American groups that dealt with trauma and loss, particularly with suicide, and that I know there's got to be someone else out there. And through social media, we found persons as young as a loss of 11, all the way down to our middle age and older, with the need of the group. So those are 3 things that we do at Soul Survivors of Chicago. As I cap off, I really want to say I apologize for my slides. I've had such a rough day. I just got in at 3 a.m. from a flight that took crazy. And I humbly apologize for that because I really wanted to share this info with you, but it is available. The third thing that I want you to do is that suicide is everyone's business. It is everyone's business. Why? Because African Americans and persons within the communities that we live in think more about those challenges than we give them credit to do, especially when it comes to certain ages and certain genders. We've wrestled with trauma and never even talked about it. So therefore, I say in gratitude to the network for thank you for allowing me this space to talk. This is a very emotional month for me. I'm getting ready to walk into the day of his passing in another week from now. And I ask everyone to take the time to reach out and learn more about suicide prevention, particularly in our communities, and what we can do to honor the fact that our children are dying and they don't have to. I thank you for your time.
Oh my God, Rafia, thank you so very much. Before you go, if you could just give people information about the documentary, the program that comes on weekly, and the walk, I would appreciate that.
I would love to. So we have a weekly talk show on CAN TV, Channel 21, that's called Breaking the Silence, sponsored by Soul Survivors of Chicago. It's been running for the last 6 weeks and it'll end after the Juneteenth week. We have guests and we talk a lot about mental health, suicide prevention, and silencing the stigmas as it relates to talking about and what we think about mental health in our Black community. So I ask you to join. It starts at 6 p.m. to 6:30 and it's a live show and it can also be found on YouTube. In addition to that, Soul Survivors is partnering with Males with a Plan, a great organization. Larry Smith as the director on a 5K walk run May 25th on 31st Street Beach. It's called Miles for Miles. Larry also lost his brother by way of suicide and his name was Miles. So we're doing this in honor of him and also for those that have been impacted by suicide and just bringing awareness to depression. I do have a flyer that I will be able to share with you if you're interested. And follow us on our website, Soul, SOUL, survivorsofchicago.com. We're on all social media platforms and we have a YouTube page. Our next event is the documentary we just finished called While the Children Fade. And it tells the story of myself and 2 other women from the Midwest, all Black women who have lost their children by way of suicide from the age of 11, 17, and 19. And also gives perspectives from social workers and also researchers with University of Chicago on this pandemic and what we're experiencing. It's 31 minutes and it'll be a premiere June 8th. I'll give more information and hopefully you can attend and come to some of our virtual events.
Thank you, Rafia. I know that this has been very trying for you, and I know that you just got in this morning at 3 o'clock this morning, but you were still able to come and talk to us, and we appreciate it. And this presentation has been very heartwarming. So thank you so very much, and we were so honored to have you because absolutely, mental health in the communities of color a lot of times go unnoticed, untalked about, but I just want to say thank you for highlighting it. And just remember, everyone, 988, if you know someone who is contemplating or who has attempted suicide in the past. Before we go, I know Kim has a few announcements, but there are a couple of people who came in later and they weren't able to introduce themselves. So Patrice, would you like to introduce yourself, darling?
Hi. I am just in programming. I don't even know how I got invited. But anyway, my name is Patrice Vining, and I am the Chief of Programs for UCP Seguin. We do foster care, group home, and the referral program.
Well, thank you for joining us, and I hope you enjoyed the presentation.
Yes.
Okay. So another person that I saw that joined us was Brittany. I don't know if Brittany Ringo is still here. Brittany?
Yep.
Hey, girl.
Doing good. How are you, Suzette?
I am good, baby. How are you?
I'm doing good. I know I've been very, very busy. I've been MIA for a while this last couple of months off of this being able to get on here every month, but I'm doing okay. Doing all right.
And tell us where you're from, Brittany. I know, but they don't know.
Yes, yep. So I am a business development manager for Streamwood Behavioral Health Hospital. We're located in Streamwood, Illinois, and we specialize in acute psychiatric care for children, adolescents, and adults.
Well, welcome. Thank you. And whenever you could come, we would greatly appreciate it. And tell my boy John I say hey.
I will, yeah. And also, I just want to say that thank you for even just inviting me to this. I didn't even realize that she was going to be speaking today, but I was despite any of the technical difficulties, I understood you, Miss Rafia, and I was really moved by your story about your son. And this is like a pivotal reason of why, you know, we should be able to come, providers like us should be able to be in these meetings, because we work with a lot of kids that are suffering from suicide. And it's really nice to hear from, you know, authentic, you know, family members, you know, parents level that have actually been down that road and been on the other side of things. So it was just really nice to, you know, be on this meeting. I would love to connect with Suzette. I don't know if you could be able to send me her contact information, but I would love to connect with her further to hear a little bit more about your story and see if you know, would be interested in some opportunities here at Streamwood to be able to speak to some of our families that are presently dealing with that.
Well, absolutely. That's what we do with the National Provider Network, and I will facilitate the hookup.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, Miss Kimberly.
Thank you. And I know that we're a couple of minutes over time, so I am going to try to keep this short and sweet. I definitely want to echo Brittany's comments. Thank you so much, Rafia. Technical difficulties happen to the best of us, but I agree. You know, it's just different when you hear from someone that has lived experience, you know, and it's something that you can't learn through a degree. So I am also very grateful that you took the time to come and share your story with us. I did kind of paste your bio and some of the things that you've been a part of. You know, once you share the presentation, I'll make sure that is posted on our website. In terms of announcements, I want to kind of announce a couple of things. One is the NAMI of South Suburbs Minds and Motions for Mental Health event that is going to be the 18th. Thank you for all of those that have come through the National Provider Network and signed up as vendors and resources for those families. We definitely want to see NAMI's movement grow, and they are working with us to try to pull some of the providers that come through our monthly meetings. And we really want to try to do our part to make sure that you guys are able to be in these community spaces alongside with us. School District 156 is having their end of the year mental wellness retreat for their families. That's going to be on May the 29th. So I will also send out information for that if you guys want to be vendors. The whole school comes out. It's a really great event. We're working with River Edge Hospital to conduct mental health first responders training on May 28th. And you know, we're working with Sertoma Star to do that training. It's very well received. And then one of the things that we'd really like to do, I'm putting a link in the chat box. And we're asking everyone to do this really short 5-question survey. what we're trying to find out is how can us coming together monthly, what can we do to take this to the next level? We have so many resources and so many people doing such great work. And so we really want to invite you all to be a more integral part of the work that we're doing through Family to Family and NPN. So it's just a short 5-question survey. So I'm going to ask if you guys can just pop in. It's, your opinion on how we can better serve you and what are some of the topics that you'd like to see in the future. And with that, I will say thank you so much. I feel like I'm getting my Russell Simmons on. Thank you and good night. And thank you,
Okay, one more
Suzette,
thing.
for all your hard work. Yes, go ahead.
One more thing before we go. Sharonda, I know you had an announcement you wanted to put out there. Sharonda Hatcher. Sharonda.
I'm here. Yes.
Okay. All right. I know you had an announcement.
Yes, so there is a mental health event that'll be, I tried to put it in the chat, but the chat only goes straight to Kimberly, so I wasn't able to post it for everyone. So the event is on this Saturday, May 18th from 11 to 3 p.m. It's a mental health event and the topic is building generational health. And so it's open to all ages. We will have something for everyone. Please attend. It's at Colin Powell Middle School, which is in Matson. Again, everyone of any age is welcome to attend, the entire family. And we'll talk about resources, topics. There'll be breakout sessions for different age groups about addressing mental health and how to be aware of your mental health and self-care. So again, that's Saturday.
Okay, and who's sponsoring this?
My sorority, Alpha Kappa Alpha. Sorority Incorporated Phi Kappa Omega chapter.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So,
and
Kim?
if you guys are able to send me the announcements before the meeting, I do try to include those announcements when we send out our meeting notices.
Okay. So anyway, I know we're a little bit over. Does anybody else have any comments or questions before we jet out of here? No. Okay. So first of all, I would say thank you to everyone for attending. We appreciate you so much. And here at the National Provider Network, we feel that it is our mission to provide information regarding resources and services to the community. We appreciate everyone's input. We appreciate your participation, and we'll see you next month. And then come back and invite a friend. All right. Have a good weekend.